driveway, but you're choosing to park there. Guys, come on now. So this is my uncle's road, guys. I quickly just want to show you. Wait, uncle, yeah, toast. Yeah, just a bit of jam, not too much. Just, guys, let's... Oh, uncle. I'll see you later, uncle. Yes, guys, 3 months of ownership coming from the M140i. What do I think? Gravy. The gravy is different. Yeah, Bisto, they ain't ready for this. Guys, I'll tell you one thing for free. Best engagement ever. But yes, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. And in this video, we're not going to do your usual 5 things I hate or 5 things I like. I just thought we'd summarise my early impressions of the car, having it for 3 months now. Bearing in mind, in terms of what we've done on the car, majority has just been visual. A lot of the bits auto ID, which we've just been putting on the car. Obviously, some coding from Defined, braided lines, front brake pads. We've got some DS2500s on. It came with springs, 20mm all round. Along with that, it also came with a VSRF sports cat, which sounds great. Hence why I don't want to change the exhaust. I don't think I will. I really don't think I will. So to start off with, it's got to be the DCT. So day to day, you'd get used to it. But coming from the ZF8, I didn't really enjoy it. And I'll be very honest with you, it's a great gearbox when you're pulling it, like for instance, second, third gear. And that's DC, that's DSC off as well, always DSC off. But it's an amazing gearbox for what you want. But when you're going through these sort of B roads and you want to just flick through the gears, sometimes it lets you go in a lower gear than you really want, which is quite dangerous. It doesn't sound good either. So second, coming through this bend here, and then look, it's let me go into first. I was doing about 30, and that just doesn't sound very healthy at all. I just had to go around. There's a big pothole on the floor there, guys. But yeah, like day to day, it's okay, but just that bit there just tends to give me a bit of worry, because I'm thinking I'm damaging the plates, or is it a thing that needs to be sorted out? So Defined Coding, he knows I'm not too keen on this gearbox, so he has said that there's some software variants that can be changed on it, so we'll be trying to meet up with him at some point. These guys are proper going for the Tour de France, huh? They're going for the Tour de France. I can't even go around the bend with it. I like his socks though. His socks are flames, or her socks are flames, man. Another one, yeah, just park. Look. You got a driveway, but you're choosing to park there. Guys, come on now. So as I was saying, that bit there just scares me, because it's like you go into third gear here, and as we come into a 30, I'd naturally go on the brakes, don't really want to make too much noise, but I downshift into second, brake free, downshift again. Did you hear that? That alarms me. The fact that it would let you go into that first gear. Obviously the engine protects itself, the gearbox knows what it's doing, but sometimes, like I said, I'll be going for a hoon, press it, nothing happens, press it again, and then bang bang, it's gone down. So maybe the speed can be changed. So again, we're going to be meeting Defined Coding, who's got some sauce to whack on there, hopefully sort it out. Second thing about this gearbox, it just tends to be the gearbox right now, guys, is obviously with it being the M2 OG and not the competition, which is the M55, the S55 variant, it doesn't have the ability to change the ferocity apart from using the driving modes, and that's something I mentioned before in the BMW driving modes. And it is okay, because I do drive in DSC off, but on a half damp day, if the traction mode was a proper traction mode, I'd be cool. I'd be really, because I'd know I could drive it in traction and put the ferocity in where I want. So a DCT gearbox without those modes, in my opinion, isn't a good idea. Whew. These DS2500s though, they really know how to stop you. They really do know how to stop you. And these cyclists just chilling. to say about the gearbox before we move on to a few positives is it's very lurchy. So sometimes I wake up in the morning, I put it in drive, and one thing I notice is that it won't engage straight away. Then it'll go bang, and apparently you need to tap the gas pedal and then tap it again to get going. I ain't got time for that. And if that is the way it's meant to do, then it's the way it's meant to be. It's meant to be. But preferably, I'd much rather have it more natural. So you put your foot down and it goes. I know it's the DCT, so it doesn't creep forward when you take your foot off the brake, but it's just a bit lurchy at times. So you go from drive to reverse and back into drive if you're parking, for instance. It's very notchy, and it's not a great feeling. It does look like it, that will sound like rather you're damaging the gearbox. Let's talk about the positives. This is one of them. Look at that. Look at that. Brake hard, off the brakes, roll it in, back on the power. Guys, the steering is amazing, and again, this is in DSC off, so this is in the sportiest setting we can get for the steering feel, but you definitely feel everything. And I know this is why a lot of people do the Williams Performance M4 lower control arms on the 140. I can tell you something for free, they definitely make a difference. Having driven Sam's car quite recently, I can tell you for free, it definitely changes the handling. It's a lot more pointy, and it's perfect. Like, a lot of people like to drive in the comfort setting when it comes to steering, but for me, I want every minor adjustment to make a difference. So just through here, just make any little tiny adjustments, and especially if you do decide to get the rear end out, you will know full well that any adjustments you make are positive. I think there's a little dead spot when you use the comfort steering. With this, it hasn't got it. It's nice and pin precise, and it does everything on the box. Along with that, visually, I think this is one of the nicest looking M cars. I know I said it needed a lot of stuff, but I've had a good think about it, and stock, that rear end, just any BMW rear end is just night and day over majority of the others in its class. It's got that nice wide rear. You know it means business when you see that boutte sticking out. There's a bit of oil here, I've got to watch out. The oil caught me, guys. It really did catch me. So as I was saying, visually cannot be beaten. The rear end, different gravy, absolute different gravy. There is more to come, so I know Auto ID are trying to build something or get something sorted, so make sure you stay tuned for that, and hopefully it will be on the car rather soon. But one thing I can say is, once this car is done up, I know it's going to be a head turner. I know it's an absolute head turner already. So give and take a few mods from Auto ID and whatnot, we should be onto a winner. We should be onto an absolute winner. So stock, and I want to say this is a stock system, bearing in mind all it has got is a sports cat. It sounds amazing, and obviously with it being a pre-OPF car, it doesn't have none of that vacuum sound, the Henry sound, so it does sound good. It sounds amazing. So a lot of people have said exhaust him, get a Remus, get this, but guys, have a listen. Let's have a little listen. And I think, I don't know whether it's my age, so I'm getting on a bit now, and I think verbals for me, turn them off. I just don't like them at all. It sounds absolutely amazing, and it sounds more innate. Obviously, having driven a few like non-turbocharged cars, I can kind of appreciate the NA sound, which is more of a natural sound. This, however, is obviously turbocharged, but it sounds innate. So how BMW have done this on the M55, I don't know. And obviously before that, I had the B58 and the 140, and I kind of always heard people say the B58, the B58, the B58, great engine, but the M55 sounds better. Until I owned this, I could finally agree with it. Sound amazing, and it's not too obnoxious as well with the burbles and the little pop that we get. It's not as obnoxious as probably the M140 was, which is great. We are obviously going to be mapping it at some point with defined coding, and I think we're probably going to go down the same avenue of Boom 3. I'm not too sure yet, but yeah, I think we're going to leave the burbles as they are because I think it's perfect. It just sounds absolutely banging. Another thing, the ability to slide. So many cars, again, that I've driven might not always have the best balanced chassis. It might be quite sketchy, quite snappy. With this, I feel like when the rear end goes, it goes in such a smooth way that you know it's going, and it also has loads of fun little features that make it quite engaging to drive, guys. So let's just get to my uncle's road quickly. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is my uncle's road, guys. I quickly just want to show you. Wait, uncle, yeah, toast. Yeah, just a bit of jam, not too much. Just, guys, let's. see you later on. So as I was saying, guys, the engagement and the fun that this car gives you, it's got so many little features built in. Burnouts, drift, although you can't really like activate a drift feature, but when this car does go sideways, it does it so angelically, if that is even a word. It goes, it really goes, but you know when it's going, and it's so well balanced that not anyone can drift it. But if you've got half a clue about how to correct oversteer and modulate that throttle, you can do it. You can absolutely do it. It's a great car. I'm also getting new tyres tomorrow, hence why Pro Tyre. I'm not going to be having my tyres back in any resaleable condition. So for me, the major selling point about the BMW M2, driver engagement. It literally, you know what is going on, and this is stock. So obviously we've got chassis to do, we've got a few more bits to do on the car in terms of maybe changing a few bits, but we're not going to go too heavily. This is mainly just going to be my little track toy. Obviously we did say we're going to do our racing license, so we will be getting our professional track toy, if that is even a word. But yeah, this is going to be, there's so much we could do with this car, so much where we can go as well and have some fun content, guys, because 100% into a 30 now. Let's put it into comfort so I can just cruise. It's different gravy. Those of you that have been out in an M2 and say that there's no difference to it over the M lights, you don't know what you're talking about. Massive difference. It's literally an M3, M4 with the 135 engine with a few things like forged on it, crankshaft, I think pistons. Other than that, it's a game changer. It's got the best of both worlds. It's not too much on power, it's not too little on power. The handling, everything is exactly what you want. Back into a 70, 60, sorry. DSC off, back on, manual mode. Here we go. I can do this all day. Brakes again, DS 2500s, doing what they came to do. Tyres have got a bit of temperature into them now, so they're just hooking up. I'm just not even, it's not even letting me step it out. This is quite a sharpish bend. Put it in second. When we can see the bend, squeeze it. Don't just stamp it. Drive the car. Don't. It's not a game. It's a car. Got a bit of bumpy road here. Just takes it on. Wow is all I can say. So guys, definitely 3-month review, Tim. Do you miss the M140, which is a common question I get asked quite a lot? No. The only time I miss the M140 is when I'm on the motorway. Reason being I say that, it gives you that confidence that you can beat most things on the road, not beat, but you could get to 70 before other cars could on the road. And the fact that it had an option for 5 doors. Other than that, 95% happy with this, 5% happy with the M140. That's the best way I could describe it. So yes guys, as always, if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless. Listen to that, mate. Listen to that.